Have you ever noticed something strange? People in their 30s often earn more money than they ever did in their 20s. Yet somehow, many of them feel more financially stressed. Not less. More. The paycheck is bigger. The apartment is nicer. The car is newer. The vacations look better on Instagram. And yet, at the end of the month, there is still that uncomfortable feeling that something isn't working. Because the biggest money mistakes in your 30s usually don't look like mistakes. They look like normal adult life. And that's exactly why they're so expensive. Let's talk about 10 of them. Imagine a typical professional in their early 30s. They earn $75,000 a year. On paper, that sounds respectable. But after taxes, health insurance, retirement deductions, and other expenses, they bring home perhaps $4,500 to $5,000 per month. Rent is $1,800. Car payment is $450. Insurance is another $150. Student loan payments are $300. Groceries cost $500. Utilities and subscriptions add another few $100. Then there are dinners, birthdays, weddings, weekend trips, and the constant pressure to keep up with what everyone else seems to be doing. Suddenly, a decent salary starts feeling surprisingly average. And this is where the first mistake appears. Not because people are irresponsible, because the system quietly encourages it. The first mistake is assuming that a higher income automatically solves financial problems. Most people spend years trying to increase their earnings. And increasing income is important. But income and wealth are not the same thing. A person earning $60,000 and saving $10,000 every year is building wealth. A person earning $120,000 and saving nothing is not. The psychological trap is simple. When income rises, expectations rise with it. What felt luxurious 5 years ago now feels normal. The bigger apartment becomes necessary. The nicer car becomes reasonable. The expensive vacation becomes deserved. The increase in income disappears into an increase in lifestyle. And wealth never gets a chance to grow. The second mistake is treating housing as a status symbol instead of a financial decision. In your 30s, many people feel pressure to upgrade. Maybe it's a larger apartment. Maybe it's buying a home slightly beyond what feels comfortable. The reasoning sounds logical. I work hard. I need more space. I've earned it. And sometimes those decisions genuinely make sense. But often, people confuse affordability with financial comfort. Let's say upgrading your living situation costs an extra $800 per month. That doesn't sound catastrophic. Until you multiply it. That's nearly $10,000 per year. Over 10 years, that's around $100,000 before considering investment growth. The real cost isn't the rent. It's everything that money could have become. Financially intelligent people don't ask, "Can I afford this?" They ask, "What am I giving up to afford this?" Those are very different questions. The third mistake is buying a car that matches your ego instead of your finances. Cars occupy a strange place in modern culture. They are transportation. But they're also identity. Many professionals finally reach a point where they can qualify for a nicer vehicle. And lenders are more than happy to help. A $700 monthly payment can seem manageable. After all, it's just another bill. But that payment often continues for 5, 6, even 7 years. Imagine investing $700 monthly instead. At a reasonable long-term return, that money could grow into well over $100,000 across a decade. The issue isn't that cars are bad. The issue is that most people underestimate opportunity cost. They see the payment. They don't see the future value they're trading away. The fourth mistake is carrying credit card debt while appearing financially stable. This one is surprisingly common. Someone earns a good salary. Their life looks organized. They have a career, a decent apartment, maybe even investments. Yet hidden beneath everything is revolving debt. The problem with credit cards isn't only the interest rate. It's the illusion they create. They allow people to experience tomorrow's income today. And human beings are naturally attracted to immediate rewards. A $2,000 purchase feels manageable. A series of small purchases feels harmless. Until months later, interest begins quietly compounding. Financial stress often doesn't come from large disasters. It comes from hundreds of small decisions that never felt significant individually. The fifth mistake is assuming retirement is a problem for future you. 30 feels young. 35 feels young. Even 40 can feel young. Retirement exists somewhere in the distance. Something to think about later. But investing works differently than most people imagine. Time matters more than effort. Someone investing modestly at age 30 often ends up in a stronger position than someone investing aggressively at age 45. Not because they invested more money. Because they gave compounding more time. The challenge is psychological. Humans struggle to care about distant consequences. We are wired to prioritize immediate needs and immediate pleasures. Future versions of ourselves feel like strangers. Unfortunately, compound interest doesn't care about human psychology. It rewards those who start early and punishes those who wait. The sixth mistake is confusing consumption with success. This is especially common in your 30s because life becomes visible. People buy homes, get married, have children, receive promotions, travel more. Everyone's life begins displaying markers of progress. And social media amplifies everything. You don't see average days. You see highlights. The result is subtle pressure. Pressure to spend. Pressure to upgrade. Pressure to prove that you're moving forward too. But genuine financial progress is often invisible. The person building wealth may drive an ordinary car, live in a reasonable home, and quietly invest every month. From the outside, they might appear less successful. From the inside, they're creating options. And options are one of the most valuable forms of wealth. The seventh mistake is believing every financial decision must maximize happiness. Modern culture constantly promotes the idea that spending equals self-care. And sometimes it does. Money should improve life. But problems begin when every inconvenience becomes a justification for spending. Bad week at work. Buy something. Feeling stressed? Take a trip. Need motivation? Upgrade something. Over time, spending becomes emotional management. And emotional spending is difficult to control because it feels rational in the moment. Financially intelligent people don't eliminate enjoyment. They simply separate temporary relief from genuine value. They understand that not every feeling requires a financial response. The eighth mistake is neglecting career growth while focusing only on budgeting. Budgeting matters. Saving matters. Investing matters. But income remains one of the most powerful financial tools available. Some people spend years optimizing tiny expenses, canceling subscriptions, cutting small costs, finding minor savings. Meanwhile, they ignore opportunities that could increase income substantially. A certification, a skill upgrade, a strategic job change, a salary negotiation. The goal isn't to obsess over earning more. The goal is understanding leverage. Saving $10 matters. Increasing annual income by $10,000 often matters more. The ninth mistake is assuming financial security comes from appearances. Many people spend their 30s creating an image of stability. The house, the car, the lifestyle, the carefully curated version of adulthood. But real financial security isn't visible. It's emergency savings, low debt, investment accounts, flexibility, the ability to survive unexpected events without panic. Economic downturns don't care about appearances. Job losses don't care about appearances. Medical expenses don't care about appearances. Reality eventually tests every financial situation. And reality only recognizes actual financial strength, not the appearance of it. The 10th mistake is believing there will be a perfect time to get serious about money. After the promotion. After the wedding. After buying the house. after paying off debt, after the kids are older, after things calm down. The perfect moment never arrives. Life remains complicated. Unexpected expenses continue appearing. Priorities continue shifting. Waiting for ideal conditions often becomes a form of procrastination. Not intentional procrastination. Comfortable procrastination. The kind that feels responsible because it sounds practical. But financial improvement usually begins before conditions are perfect, not after. When you look at these mistakes together, something interesting emerges. Very few are mathematical problems. Most are psychological problems. People generally know that debt costs money. They know saving is important. They know investing early helps. The challenge isn't information. The challenge is behavior. The challenge is resisting social pressure, managing emotions, thinking long-term while living in a short-term world. That's what financially intelligent people do differently. Not because they're smarter, not because they're luckier, because they learn to see money as a tool rather than a scoreboard. A tool for flexibility, a tool for security, a tool for creating choices later. Your 30s are often the decade when financial habits become permanent, not because change becomes impossible afterward, but because patterns become harder to notice. That's why awareness matters. Not guilt, not fear, just awareness. Because once you see the true cost of these mistakes, you're already in a better position than most people.